Most day traders lose money because they're using the wrong tools to read the market. So I'm about to show you a numerology-based method that gives you clarity on exactly when to enter and when to exit trades. So this is not some magical nonsense. It's not. This is a mathematical pattern hidden in plain sight. It has been working for decades, fam. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what setup to look for and how to spot it on your charts and how to execute it with precision. That's facts. Section 1, why traditional analysis keeps you losing. So before I show you the solution, we actually have to talk about the problem. Come on now, we gotta talk, fam. So I need you to be honest with yourself right now. When you open your trading screen, do you see the RSI line at the bottom? Do you see the MACD crossing over? Do you have 3 or 4 moving averages covering up your price bars? Keep it a buck, because here's the truth. If you're using the same exact tools as millions of traders who are losing money, why do you think you're gonna get different results, buddy? So this creates a trap. When everyone sees the same buy signal at exactly the same time, it becomes a crowded trade. And usually, this is exactly when the market flips and takes everyone's money. They are what we call lagging indicators. So let me explain what that means in simple terms. Imagine trying to drive a car down a curvy road, but instead of looking through that windshield at the road ahead, you're looking in the rear view mirror. That's what moving averages do. That's what RSI does. They look at what happened like 10 minutes ago or an hour ago. Then they draw a line on your screen based on the past. They tell you what already happened. I can tell you what happened. They don't tell you what's about to happen. So when I used to trade like that, I was always late to the party. By the time the indicators told me to buy, the move was already over. It was already gone. I would buy at the very top. Let's keep it 1,000 with you guys. And then the price would drop and I would lose money. That's what made me frustrated. Every single decision. So I would see a signal, but I'd be scared to push the button because I know the last time I pushed that button, I lost. So I would skip a trade. And of course, you already know that was the winner every single time, right? Am I tripping right now? I felt like the market was trying to play me, bro. But it wasn't the market's fault. That was on me and my tools. I was looking at history, not the future. I realized I didn't really need a better way to look at the past. I needed a better way to see what the hell was happening right now in the market. So that's when I stopped looking at those damn squiggly lines and all those goofy looking things on the screen, bro. I stopped it and I started looking at math and numbers. Let's talk about those. So by the way, if you want the complete numerology framework I'm about to show you, including my exact entry rules, the timing sequence, and the risk management system, click the first link in the description to learn more. Let's get back to it. This is section 2, the numerology method explained. I'm about to give you the game right now. So let's talk about numerology. By the way, I'm the second best numerologist in the world, according to some. So let's talk about numerology. And please, stay with me here, because this is when that light bulb usually turns on for people. Now, let's keep it real, y'all. Let's keep it real. I'm from the old school, bro. When people hear numerology, they think sometimes some like weird, goofy, like magic or horoscope. That's not what we're doing here. Like, we brought the swag to numerology, bro. So we're talking about math. We're talking about numbers. So think about the biggest banks in the world, the ones who make billions of dollars investing every single year. Do you think they're looking at head and shoulders patterns on the charts? No, they're not. They use computers. They use robots. They use strict math rules to make decisions. They treat the market like a math problem. Come on, guys. Am I bugging right now? They treat it like a math problem that needs to be solved. Now, the market isn't just random chaos. The market moves on rhythm. It moves in patterns, and those numbers are the language of those patterns. I use the system based on the number 1 through 9. These numbers reveal the heartbeat of the market. Why does this work and other things fail? Because numbers don't lie. An indicator can be a sort of low, whatever. A pattern could look like this kind of flag or whatever. It's all an opinion, and it depends on how you feel that day. But a number is a number. If the pattern is 3, it's a 3. If the pattern's 7, it's a 7. There's no guessing. This gives you a huge advantage. It lets you see the skeletons of the market. While everyone's trying to figure out how to paint the outside of the house, which are the indicators, which means you're looking at the wrong foundation, you have to start with the numbers. This shows you exactly where price is likely to move before it happens. This is going to give you the map that nobody else has. Like, let me give it to you straight, bro. Let's keep it a buck. Let me show you the difference here. There's a massive difference, and we can talk to the cows come home, but let me actually show you the facts here. let's jump into it. So before I trade, I'm actually going to check my personal energy, because just like they say in the Bible, there's a time and place for everything. There's a time to make money and there's a time to lay low. Now, with this, I can see exactly when the best time for me to trade. If I see green, guess what? It's time to trade. Also, if I see blue, it's a good time to trade. If I see red, I do not trade. If I see black, I do not trade. These are the times where people lose the most money. Now, if they knew this information, they would be able to simply avoid this. So let's look at my personal charts. Now, this is an example of the past. I'm not going to show you exactly where I'm at today because I don't want people to know my exact energy. But you can see January 2024 would be a perfect and excellent time for me to trade because I have no negative energy that specific month. I'm pretty much all 100% blue and green. Now, let's look at October 2024. This would be a terrible time for me to trade. Why? Because I have so much negative energy. This is the energy that people lose a lot of money with. So if I did need to trade, I would try to trade right around this green area over here, or just basically take it off because there's too much red on the chart. Okay, another example, July 2024. Again, this is an old chart, but I just want to highlight the point that you see a lot of red, you do see green, and you see neutral energy. So I'm going to wait for the best time, maybe from July 6th all the way to July 13th, and I won't trade for the rest of the month. That is my little window of opportunity right there. This is exactly what I'm going to be trading during these times. Section 3. Now you see the numbers. So how do you actually trade them? How do you put money in the account? This is where the execution comes in. Now, most traders fail because they have no rules. They have ideas. They trade based on hope. With this numerology method, my entry rules are strict. It's like a combination lock on a safe. If the numbers don't line up perfectly, that safe don't open and I don't trade. For example, look for specific number patterns that act like a green light. When I see that number sequence, I don't hesitate. I'm not going to ask, what do I feel like doing? I just execute. But here's actually the most important part. If you're a new trader, you better listen closely to this next part. Risk management. So you can actually have the best strategy in the world, but if you don't know how to protect your money, you're gonna go broke. That's facts. Most people guess where to put their stop loss. They just pick a random spot on the chart. I don't guess. The numbers tell me exactly where my risk is. If I enter on a specific number, the math tells me exactly where the trade is wrong. That means the stops are tight and precise. Never risk more than I should. I won't. The numbers tell me when to take profit. I don't get greedy. I don't hold on way too long, hoping for some miracle home run. When the number cycle ends, take that money off the table, yo. Scoop it, baby. This creates consistency. And consistency is how you grow a small account into a large one. So I want to show you some real examples of some trades I took using this method. So you can see the entry, the stop loss, and the profit taking all working together. Okay, so the biggest stock market gain, or at least one of them, happened on October the 28th, 2008, where the market went up over 11% that day in one single day. Why? Because 28 is the number of wealth. So you have the 28 right here, and then a 2, and then an 8 on the back of the day. Now, that doesn't mean every single 28th of the month that the market is going to fly. No, it doesn't work like that. So that's why we use advanced numerology codes, which I will not discuss on this, to actually predict which 28 is going to be good for the market or bad for the market. But generally speaking, October 28th was when the stock market rose over 11% in one single day. 28 is the number of wealth. So we have Steve Jobs is the 28 life path. Bill Gates is born on the 28th. Elon Musk is born on the 28th. Wells Fargo was founded on the 28th. So the number 28 and wealth go hand in hand. Since we know that, we can use that to actually predict when the market will rise. So October 28th, 2025, we're expecting the market to go up based off of the numerology history of this specific day. Now, again, on every 28th, the market is not going to go up. This is just to show you an example of what you would look for. So first and foremost, when we come into the market, we're going to look at the basic range that we can find on the chart that gives us some liquidity zones based off of price action, et cetera, et cetera. So we're not going to take the first breakout on this trade. Why? Because that would be extremely risky. We want to actually get in after a little bit of a retracement, consolidation, and then it go back long again as a confirmation bias for us to go. So this is the entry right here. Now we're going to put our stop loss at the nearest swing low. The only thing we want, let's not be greedy here, guys. Let me move it back over here. Now, the only thing we want is what? At least 1.5 return on this specific trade. Don't be greedy on these type of trades. At least 1.5 return on investment on this specific trade. Why? Because October the 28th historically does very well for the stock market. Now, it doesn't mean every single time. There's other factions. There's other things you need to look at, which I'm not going to discuss in this video, to be able to tell if the market's going to be bullish or not. But this is just one good indicator of what you can use to actually be able to predict the stock market and how it does profitably. Okay, another great example of the 28 being used. Okay, so you come into the market on the 28th. We're going to go look back in history to find a specific range that the market has broken out of. Okay, from there, we come through and we look at specific key levels for the market to actually play against, because that's the way the market consolidates based off of that. So what do we see here? We see specifically the market broke out here. Didn't really break out fully, so you want to get a better confirmation of what's actually going to happen. So until price hit this level and retraces back, you want to actually skip this, because this is just basic general price action rules where we're looking for an actual confirmation of the market to break out. We got it once it actually hit this level once, hit this level twice, and came back. From there, we're looking for the market to go specifically long. You would enter your position right here, closest swing low, and on this one, we just want 1 to 1.5 back. Not trying to be greedy. Another example right there. Clean setup, clean entries, in exactly the way that you're going to be able to find profitable setups based off of numerology. This is how the game works, and this is how it's played. Numerology for day trading patterns work because they reveal where the institutions are positioning. Not no mystical shit here. They show you the market structure. 95% of traders can't see because they're using lagging indicators. Once you understand what these sequences actually mean, you stop guessing and start executing with confidence. Now, if you want this complete framework, including the exact number sequences, the entry rules, and the risk management system I actually use, click the first link in the description to learn more.